last Thursday we have completed the some missing part in your syllabus. We have done some questions with regard to treasury bonds. Remember, and we have done some calculation on finding the dirty price, clear price, and accrued interest part. Then we move on to calculation of right issue. So basically, after the right issue, what will be the price? So that is, we call it theoretical X right price. So after the right issue, what will be the price? Right means share fund. Right means basically share. So there are four methods. We learn how when the rights are there, how do you do? Are you accepting or are you rejecting? Are you partly accepting? Are you doing nothing? So those are the four options. That's important. Examiner has not tested this part in the exam, but only thing he has tested questions on white issue calculation, right? So I will give my mobile number to you. It's note 77 011 3520. I need the feedback from you all conducting classes like on Thursdays. So I don't know whether you were there, but how do you feel it? Is it okay for me to continue like that, or do we need a change? Right? Any visibility on the board and everything. I need to know what will be your feedback regarding the class we held last Thursday. Right? So please just text me. Are you okay with that? Then we can continue little one or two classes like that. Anyway, whatever the feedback you send it to me through text, right? I'm expecting from you my to my mobile number, so then I can take a decision, uh, continuation or discontinuation of similar classes here, right? Okay. Now, so we have concluded some questions on that. Basically, question is in the theory part, the what we have missed in your syllabus. And now with that, we have completed the significant amount of the major part of the syllabus. So the major part, basically examiner was asking questions on this issue management, the very important part. So this is the major part, and we had to take quite number of days to complete. So it is basically like a chain. So going by going, so hand in hand. So one syllabus topic is connected to the other one, right? Right. So any questions, bring it to the class and we can discuss. But I'll be taking some questions on the syllabus coverage, on the syllabus part of the syllabus where we have completed. Right. Now, so I have uploaded some topics to you all. You must have received this. This is another important factor I also discussed with you, and I given some feedback also. Now, asset management. So basically, asset management, I'll refresh it to you. Asset management and the wealth management. I'm writing here done it. Asset management in the sense, now there are assets are managed by you. You in the sense, people who are in the investment banking division. So my assets are managed by you. So I'm the investor. You're working in an investment bank. So you undertake to manage my assets, and you will be giving a yield or the return on investment to me for that I am paying you. You are charging from me. Why you are charging? You are managing my assets. You have undertaken extra effort. So my money should be managed by me, but I don't have time. I don't have expertise. So you are the experts. You're working in investment banking division, so you have the expertise. So I'm giving you, I'll pay you something. You manage on behalf of me and you give me a return. Now remember, in the asset management and the wealth management, if I'm the investor, I'm giving my all the assets to you to manage. But remember, you have to keep in mind there is no guaranteed return to the investor. There is no guarantee return. What do you mean by that? So my assets are given to manage you. You promise me 10% every year till I manage your assets, till I manage your portfolio. You promise I'll give you 10% to you. No such thing, right? So basically, you don't give a guarantee to the investor that you pay this much. So generally, you put a reference. Now, for example, now we say we will pay you more than the 1 year treasury bill rate. That's fine. And also, when you make the investment, even you manage my asset, you have to take my consent. So for example, so I didn't have any intention to invest in shares, example. But you can't invest my money, my asset, even you manage my assets without my consent investing in shares. So I don't like to, so basically before you make the investment, you get the consent from me to invest. So there is an agreement between the investment can be different from one to one or one investment banking division to another investment banking people, but generally these are the features available in the agreement. Right? So asset is basically broader meaning than fund. So fund management is what? Fund means what? It's a part of it. Asset is what? Asset management is a broader meaning than the fund management. So basically, we have heard fund management. So the fund is given to you to manage on behalf of the fund. So the fund is a squeeze meaning. So basically, a smaller meaning than the asset. Asset means broader meaning. Wealth means everything. Wealth means everything. Everything means giving tax advisors, giving all these accounting statements, everything you undertake to give everything. So wealth management is comprises everything. So the advisors also you are giving. Tax advisors also that part of the wealth management. So wealth management is a broad meaning. So some banks are there, some investment banks are there. They undertake to manage wealth. But in Sri Lanka, we have seen popular wealth management part is fund management. Right? Fund management. Basically, you have fund, you have amount of money with you, then you give it to the investment banking people to manage on behalf of you and promise to return. Return in the sense that no, not the definite return, but you can have a below 1 year treasury bill, like that. So you can have it. You can have an agreement. You can have a both consent of the both the parties, and you can execute after such will happen, right? And now in this particular notes, the last people have taken now this role of investment bank. These are the things you do. These are the things you do. So everything is you have here, right? You have here. So these are the things we learn under your syllabus. So this was tested once, right? disrespected. So it's important to keep in mind. So to read. And underwriting also uh, we have done several times, and under the issue management also we have learned uh, when you are issuing a debenture or shares, if you are not sure of subscribing the people or somebody, then you appoint a person, especially as merchant bank, like right, or investment bank. So they will be investing in the IPO new issue, which is undersubscribed by the public. So basically, you agree to subscribe to the unsubscribed part. For that, you are paid. Who are paying? By the issuer. Now, recently we have seen that underwriting things we have not seen many times, right? Underwriter concept is there, but practically we don't see anybody is underwriting any issue. So when you point underwriting means you are not sure whether the people will subscribe as you expected. So instead of that, we have seen recently, not recently, but some time ago, your coupon is guaranteed. So there is a bank you appoint to guarantee the coupon to the investors. I mean, for example, now when you are issuing a debenture, your bank is issuing a debenture. You're not sure people will subscribe. Your bank has not a good rating, so the people have not invested as expected. So then you will be in trouble in the sense that you have a reputation loss, like right. So you can't say my debate issue is undersubscribed. It is not good. So then you appoint a good bank, good rated bank, give a kind of boost. Okay, investors, don't worry, we are there. You invest. If something happens, we guarantee you coupon. Only the coupon, huh? Not the principal amount. Principal amount is a big amount. You can't guarantee the principal, but coupon was guaranteed. Now this is a real example I'm telling you. I think it was some part. The issue was Ceylon, but the guarantee was given by some part, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, you invest, don't worry. In this particular debenture, we will guarantee the coupon. Simple. Not good. Now all these things you can understand, you can differentiate issuing debentures, issuing corporate bonds compared to the issuing treasury bonds, government security. So important part is that. Important part is that. So all these you can have differences in issuing debenture are almost similar, but differences are there. Now, why do you invest in government security? Without now government does not have, government has rating, country has rating. When the country is having a rating, obviously when the country instrument issued by the country is also a similar rating. Plus, similar rating is applied for the government institution as well. You can't have more than the sovereign rating, right? Correct. You can't have the more than sovereign. රටකට දෙන රේටින් එකට වඩා තව කෙනෙකුගේ රේටින් වැඩි වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද? You can't. Can't. Right? So internationally, right? Internationally, it has to be below sovereign rating. Now, for example, we say now we have triple C. Now we have seen some banks are having triple A. Can it be possible? Yeah, it's possible, but triple A is a local rating. Remember, right? Triple A is a local in within Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, you don't have any issue. But when you go outside market, you can't have more than 7. You must have seen AAA bank in Sri Lanka, whereas the government of Sri Lanka has triple C sovereign, right? So generally you don't have, you can't have it more than sovereign. But these banks are locally rated banks. Right? They don't have any international rating. Now this switch rating has been given locally. Remember that, right? Now underwriting we have not seen, but the concept is there. As a concept, that has been there for a long time, right? Earlier, yeah, it was. Now, if you see the role of the activities undertaken by merchant banks, this is one of them. Underwriting. They underwrite. And also, when issuing international bonds, when issuing international bonds outside, offshore, you can have this underwriting. You can have this underwriting. Basically, you have book runners. So basically now recently now last week government has put some request for proposal to issue term loan. What do you mean by that? Now when the government needs to raise some money overseas, if you go to the website of Central Bank of Sri Lanka, it says it was a news in the paper as well. Now government needs to raise particular amount of term money, dollar term money, offshore. Now government doesn't have expertise to issue it. So then the government is appointing people in the banks. So the government has asked from banks, please give your proposal to us. So then we can consider your proposal. So they are asking a proposal from banks in Sri Lanka. So on behalf of the government, who will be issuing this? Now, for example, say my bank is ABC Bank. If ABC Bank puts a proposal to the government, okay, we will undertake this particular issuance. So we are the book runners. We are the joint book runners. So they undertake to issue whatever the amount government says on behalf of the government. So like that. So government is asking request for proposal from bank. Generally we can see foreign banks are applied. Now, last occasions we have seen why foreign banks are applied. Foreign bank now when you issue a debenture or instrument or the international sovereign bonds overseas, outside, offshore. So you should have kind of investor relationship. Now local banks in Sri Lanka, not the foreign banks, local banks, do not have similar type of investor relationship like foreign branches we have in Sri Lanka. Now, for example, now if HNB doesn't have more foreign investor relations than Standard Chartered Bank, than HSBC, than Citibank, than Deutsche Bank. So they are the people who are expertise. They know the people who are in overseas countries likes to invest in Sri Lanka on the instrument. So they have the investor relationship. So basically they undertake it. Or foreign banks also can undertake to issuance of this particular. So anybody can put it. So they will be given a commission or arrangement fee when you accept it. It is basically percentage of the issuance. Arrangement fee comes like that. Issuance, percentage of the total issue amount. That's how the arrangement fee comes to the book runners or the joint runners. Joint book runners we call it. So basically at least you appoint 1 or 3 guys. So they get together. They similar like when you issuing debenture or IPO here, they prepare a prospectus. Similar thing. To whom they are preparing? For the overseas investors. So basically when you are preparing prospectus for overseas investors, to comply overseas investment compliance as well. Now, for example, now say there is a set of there is a set of rules when you are issuing debentures or when you are issuing bonds in the US. There is a set of rules when you are issuing bonds or debentures, issue ISB, international sovereign bonds, in the zone of Europe. When you're issuing a particular instrument in Asia, different set of rules. Eurozone, different set of rules. US, different set of rules. So we call it, there are two types now. When you're issuing a ISB, when you're issuing a debenture or a bond in the US, so they have to comply with the 144A. There is a special law there. So the US now, if you see the SLDG in Sri Lanka, so foreigners can invest in SLDG. It's a local issue. But if you see the advertisement, US citizen cannot invest. Now this offer is not going for US citizen. So basically, when you issuing an instrument to US, there's a set of rules to be complied. So we have two types of one double A, the 144A and the Reg S. So when you issue under Reg S, then apart from the US, other countries coming under that. So if you are issuing a particular instrument to US, that set of rules to be adhered. So like that. So you have to be very clear and you have to be very transparent. So for that, you will be appointing an international lawyer. It's very lengthy process and very cumbersome task. So you convincing the foreign invest to invest is very cumbersome. So basically, foreign banks can do that. So they have roadshow now. You have to go with them and explain the foreign investors why you want to invest in Sri Lanka, why we are asking you to invest in this particular instrument. So very cumbersome, very lengthy process. And now we have issued, I think, number of, if you take it, we have 13 similar kind of instruments we have issued. We have a total outstanding amount of 13 billion as a country, right? 13 billion we have issued ISB, outstanding amount. And we have recently settled, July 27th, we have settled one. And we have another one to be settled in the month of next year, January. And again, we have another one to be settled in the month of July. Now, this year settlement, which we did in July, we have not reissued. So basically, we have paid out of our reserve. So generally, if you don't have money, then basically what you can do is you can reissue and take money and you settle in this. But the last one we have not reissued due to this pandemic, so no one is investing under these circumstances. So basically, we paid out of our reserve. So we're expecting next 500 million to be paid in January, and next one is July. So basically, these are the things we need to pay back to the international investors. So we have taken money from them and we have to pay it on the maturity. Right? So you have a separate topic called loan syndication. So loan syndication also very much similar. So basically, you issue and you don't put everything in on your own. You get to and do it. Especially this ISP foreign instrument issuance, we can see that loan syndication happening, right? So basically, underwriting is anyway happening now. Say foreign investors are not taking, so the book runners are purchasing it. So they are taking it. So they can later sell it. That's how actually it happens. Right? That's why it actually happens. Underwriting things are very much popular, very much common factor when you are issuing ISP, international sovereign bonds. Now also remember that I'm also telling you Euro bonds. Euro bonds means what? Not the bonds are issuing in the currency of Euro. Right? Anything other than the reported currency, we call it Eurobond. So basically, when the Sri Lanka government issue a bond in dollars, that is a Eurobond. What is Sri Lanka reported currency? LKR. Other than LKR, when you issue a bond, that is Eurobond. So investment advice, you know this. This is literal meaning only. So when you have a broker to invest in shares, you have this. Now, if you see the share market now these days, and also I have uploaded some information for you. Not this one. That is this one. I think you must have read this by now. DVP to go live on CSC. I was trying to send you scan copy, but attempt was unsuccessful. But I think you can read this. This is important, right? Examiner can test you on this. Now, share market is booming now. All the investors are majority of investors are retail investors, Sri Lankan investors. Still, we can see foreign outflow from the market, right? Retail investor. Now it has reached history highest. ASI, how much? 9,000. 9,000, right? 9,000 it has reached. This is the latest addition, and there's another latest addition. They'll have a discussion on warrants. Remember the warrants we discussed in the class? Warrants is what? The sweetener for you to purchase. Now, when you take John Keels, they're issuing warrants now, right? Warrant is after a particular period of time, you can convert into shares. Warrants also can be traded. Now, warrants can be traded. So, say if you have 10 warrants, so the after for 5-year warrants. So, meaning after 5 years time, you can convert this warrant into shares and do that. If the prices have gone up, then you can have a better price. If it is a good company, you purchase it. So generally, we can see warrants are issued with the issuance of a new share. So so basically, you give company gives an encouragement for you to invest in shares. Issue of shares plus warrants are available. So the later date, you can convert these warrants into shares. So these are they said they are warrants are anyway tradable, right? They said there was a meaning of that structured warrants or something. I can't exactly remember. There is a meeting, there is a discussion with the SEC on the 10th. Right? That one issue. Now, many things they have introduced. Now, REIT, real investment trust. Basically, like shares, this investment properties like buildings and all, you can trade it. But that is also under it has not materialized. That's a new concept by CSC. So basically, what is the income then? So rental income. So there is a mechanism like the REIT, right? Real real investment trust. So basically, you will be listing whatever the investment property you have, like building, like rental building, to the listing. Then your income will be the rental income. So it has structure and they have launched it, but it has not materialized yet, right? Apart from these new boards, they have issued that tax, right? So we were discussing this. This is important, and now if you have investment in shares, now these days you are getting a lot of recommendation from the brokers. So I think if you have not invested in shares, I am requesting you to invest in shares and get these details. So this is very important for your exam. Now you can see these reports, say buy, sell, hold. Now Also we'll be learning later what you call the misconduct of share market. Misconduct in the sense that not the malpractices, but how to call it an unaccepted behavior. So some are criminal offences, some are punishable offences, right? So the brokers are very much under regulated by the CSC and SEC. So they can play in a way that not to protect the investor's interest, but their interest can be happen, right? So basically, when you give your money to somebody to invest, like we expect the investor expect the honesty from the pe- from the person who undertakes to do that. But we all are people, right? So once you not being regulated, then you will be in uh, different moods, right? So basically, we will be, for example, we say front running. You must have heard these days, right? So before you purchase, as I'm the investor, I'm asking you to purchase. Before purchase for me, you purchase. So basically, you will be selling out of your account to me. So it has happened. It is happened. So very difficult to monitor, but CSC, SEC has monitored this one, and they are taking stern action on that. So, right? So there is a regulated environment we have, but still there are some loopholes as well, right? You can't say that brokers are not doing that. Those are malpractice, no, not malpractice, but the unethical behavior. So, so we'll be learning there are frequent questions on the exam. I will give a note on that when you're doing the past papers. So then you can understand, right? And my request is if you are not invested in share, just make some investment to flavor it because these days share market is booming up. Then we have bull market and research reports also coming recommending to hold it, recommending to buy, recommending to sell. Based on what they take decision is important. When you read the research report, then you can understand. So they say price earning ratio. Price earning ratio is very much low. The future cash flow benefits are this much. Present pricing is undervalued. Remember, all these terms are used by them. All these terms we have learned. I also give you some investor ratios. Now, price earning ratio is one of them. I will try to upload this since if you read this, then you can have a kind of understand. Price earning ratio, dividend yield, all these terms are related to investment in shares. So, how much dividend yield have this company paid previously? So will they be paying in the future? What are the expansion coming? So how do you price it? So all these things are available. Now the research reports are not like reports, right? Not like normal reports. They have to do lots of research and put it up because you are recommending something. So it has to be very much informative and it has to be very much research based. Can't say that based on the information only you are giving a recommendation, right? True that broker is not liable if you are making losses, but people we like when you read this research report, we tend to invest. If they are saying they are asking their recommendation is to buy. Right? So I'm requesting you to you just enroll and purchase one or two shares, share for money, and this is a good time for you to buy. Market is going up. Actually, we recommended to normally recommendations should come when the market is low, but our people are not buying that. Sri Lankans are not purchasing when the market is at lower level. Now they are only coming. Now the sellers who are the sellers, foreigners are selling. So that's the pattern we have. So we have not trust on our ESC or the Columbus Stock Exchange. So these are the very important elements for a country. So when a country's share market is going up means That is one of the fundamental economic conditions, economic indicator to say that the market is or the economy is behaving uh, at a good pace. And also remember now, examiner can test you this. Now, market is performing, whereas the government has increased or the central bank has increased the policy rate. What is the impact? Discuss, remember, there can be a question. Here the market is going up. Here the interest rates have gone up. What is that? So what is the relationship? So generally, if you have a low regime of interest rate, people now like you don't invest in FD. So you finding you look for other alternative investment opportunities. Same thing happened. Your money has been put, your money has been invested in share market these days rather than putting in FD. Now what happens? Now FD rates have to increase due to this policy rate increase, and again treasury bill rates have increased. Now we had treasury bill rates some time ago, sometime in the sense 1 month ago, like we had 1 year treasury bill 5.7 something like. Now it's 6.05. Last week it was 5.993 some okay. Now they have put this year, this week, cap rate at 6.05. Can you imagine? The rates are going up. The rates have increased. So basically we expect some people will move into this at least the banking sector, but we have not seen, even the policy rates have increased, we have not seen people are moving to banking products like deposit out of when the sharp market comes down, obviously they will move. Now 9,000 ASI has been reached, so it's a good market going. Every day you can see the market is going up. Last Thursday there is a slight 30 points dip, but of course when you take profits, obviously market has to come down. It has happened. There's a small correction. That's fine. So there should be an end point, right? Purchasing, or making profit. There should be a point that okay, I will realize this profit. So that's what happened. So good indicator, and we have come to the 10 best performing markets in the world. And also, I have seen some. I want to tell you that there is a news item. China has decided to have another stock market in Beijing. So it's a huge thing. At least I think they have four at the moment, but they are going to have another one. I've seen some foreign news looking at the fact that so what do you get it? What is the important part? When a country is expanding, when a country is economically expanding, of course you have. Now remember that we have now same CSC we have several boards, MCB board we had, multi-currency board we had. Then we had what Empower board we had. Now REIT is a new product the CSC has introduced, and also the debt instrument to be traded. That is another one. It has been there, but so all these things are concepts we have, but only thing we have not put into the practice. We have not put into the practice. So that is the most important part. So you bring all these new concepts, but practically it's not happening. And with this port city coming into effect, I think so we will be having a Bitcoin exchange in Sri Lanka. And you know, Bitcoin is a digital currency. A digital currency. Some countries are not allowed. I have recently seen that El Salvador they have rejected of introducing. People have rejected introducing digital currency or the what do you call this cryptocurrency to their country. There are people, but here with the post city investment coming into, so they don't want to use their what you call the mode of payment, $1, LKR, nothing. So we have separate currency. So we'll be having an exchange called cryptocurrency in near future, right? So we'll be working on that. I think we'll be working on that. We'll be having recently that part happens. So if the things are happening at speed level before your exam, so we'll be taking that as well, the digital currency. Like you must have heard this cryptocurrency, right? Bitcoin, people like that. Right? There are exchanges in the world, so you can earn a lot, but don't do too much investments, and you are prohibited to do investments through your card, right? Overseas. Now, when you have a credit card, international credit card, you're not allowed to do any commercial transaction. Right? So if you do any commercial transaction, your bank is monitoring you, and your card might be blocked. So don't do any commercial transaction. It is prohibited. Only for personal use you can have it. And the banks have not still restricted. Some banks have not restricted international payments through their credit cards. Right? So important. There was a discussion with the central bank whether the banks have restricted the international payments. I don't think that none of the banks have restricted, but they have increased the charges on the foreign payments. That's true. That I would accept. No restriction comes, but only for the personal usage, not for the commercial activities. You can't use your credit card, right? That's the additional thing important. Uh, my request is to invest in shares, and these are the methods. This is only the theory, right? This part is only theory. Firm commitment based efforts, that is theory part. So important is that. So only the literal meanings I just wanted to give you. So basically now this part. Financial brokering, you know the broker. Investment research, reports. Underwriting, wealth management, asset management. That's all, right? Yeah. Okay. Any question you have? Do you have any question? Right. So then important part comes. Now examiner has tested some questions on foreign currency. Right. Now you may wondering how these foreign currency things are relevant to investment banking people. So there is no direct relationship foreign currency, but examiner has several factors. Then now, if somebody is doing what you call financial market operation, so I have prepared a set of questions based with the latest paper as well. I will be uploading these questions next week. Then you can go through. Then you can have a kind of idea which type of question examiner has tested. Now, if you see some questions, the examiner asked under the syllabus of financial market operation, same question will be repeated sometimes, right? Not always in your exam answer. So then we will be learning. Now this part, now examiner, so the syllabus content is proprietary trading. So basically proprietary trading, we learn foreign exchange transactions. So we thought of giving some kind of idea for you to have it. Now 2015, there was a question. Question was, if you have the papers and go through and see, exporter, tea exporter, export tea to Germany, and he will be receiving what currency they are receiving? Generally, euro. Germany is a eurozone country. Germany is in eurozone. They are receiving euros, but can the exporter get foreign currency account? Yeah, they can. They can open foreign currency account in Sri Lanka. They can receive foreign currency for their exports. That is also not difficult. Now they can have it. Now, what is the purpose of, what is the use of having euro account in Sri Lanka? Only thing you can have interest. But when you want to make the day-to-day payment, does it use it? No, it is no use. So then you convert it what? LPR, rupee. So then the examiner was testing you, has tested. So he has given USD, USD euro rate, then the USD LKR rate, then you will have to find out what? Euro LKR rate. Then you can do. So we'll be learning that part. And the examiner once tested, you must have heard the what do you call this forward exchange transaction, forward exchange contract. So what do you mean by that? So when you import a vehicle, for example, we say from Japan, you decided to import a vehicle from Japan. You enter into a forward exchange transaction, forward exchange agreement with your bank. I'll be importing a vehicle. So vehicle will come to Sri Lanka after 3 months time. So then I have to make the payment after 3 months time. So tell me now, how much do you have to pay after 3 months? That's foreign exchange. I'm sorry, the forward exchange contract. We call it derivative instrument, hedging instrument, risk mitigating instruments. Presently, foreign forward exchange contract has been banned by the central bank. You can't have foreign forward exchange contract, right? You can't have it. It's temporarily banned. So when you have this situation open, so similar thing, that is your derivative instrument, hedging instrument. The most popular hedging instrument or derivative instrument is forward exchange transaction. So basically, you today agree with your bank how much do you have to pay once my goods are received. Why do you want to do that? Why can't you wait like similar thing now presently after 3 months time? Why can't you wait? Why do you want to enter into an agreement with the bank to decide how much you want to pay? Basically, is what in Sri Lankan context, today's exchange rate may not be there after 3 months time. Why do you want to have this agreement? You think that it will adversely impact you. The මොනවාරි exchange rate එකක් true that අද දින exchange rate එක නෙමෙයි මාස තුනකට පස්සේ තියෙන්නේ. But ඒක importer ඒ කියන්නේ වාහනේ ගෙන්නන කෙනාට වාසි නම් no issue, no problem. Then why do you want to enter into an agreement? Exactly 100% you know that I don't want to enter into a forward exchange contract. I'm pretty sure that after 3 months and once I want to make the payment, it will be benefited to me. I will be not paying more than what today's. So basically, I know that it will be benefited to me when I want to make the payment after 3 months time. So if it is so, then no problem. But it won't happen. Country like Sri Lanka, it won't happen. Why? Today you pay 230, example, right? 230 for $1. But last year, 2020 December, how much you pay? It's only 186. But after 7 months time or 8 months time, rupee has depreciated. Now see the word. Rupee has depreciated. Depreciated means what? Any country's currency depreciation is what? You pay more. If you pay more to convert into the other country's currency, your country's currency is depreciated. Who pays more for dollar? We pay more. Sri Lanka pays more. The Sri Lanka currency is depreciated. Sri Lankan currency is depreciated. Now USD, if you take India and US, INR and USD, who pays more? It's basically 74. Who pays more? Indian rupees 74. Indian rupees pays more. For $1, Indian rupees pays 74. For $1, Sri Lanka rupees pays 230, 226 like that. We say 200. So we pay 200 for $1. Who pays more? You pay more. Sri Lanka pays more. Your country currency depreciated. Now the terms, now understand. Now we don't want to go in depth, right? So it is not a lengthy topic for you all. We will be learning on the relevant parts only, right? There is another term called revaluation and depreciation. Now, depreciation we know basically rupee value is diminishing. When an instrument's value is diminishing, you pay more, you give more, right? So the depreciation is basically decided based on the demand and supply. Demand and supply. Now, see, I told you the last year, December we had 186, but now it's 100, 230. So the rupee has depreciated by how much? Right? Imagine, right? So officially, central bank says it's 8% depreciate, 8%. But then if you come to 230, it's more than that, but they say actually 200 and 203 level something. So if you take 203, of course, 16%, 13 or 16 rupees depreciation, that is 8%. That's true. Right? But now it's currently market is going at more than that. Now, why this has happened? Why people are asking more rupees for $1? If you were in December last year, if you pay 186, you can have it $1. Now you have to pay 230. Why? So I told you this exchange rate is determined or decided by demand and supply. So basically, when the price is going up, you have more demand or less demand. You have more demand than the supply. Same thing happened here. We discussed several times, we don't have supply of dollars, right? Everything is come to standstill. So the limited amount of dollars has unlimited demand for importation. So why do you want to use dollars? For import, you have to pay. You need dollars to pay. You can't pay in rupees. Right? Now, say for example, now if you are studying in or SEMA, you have to pay in GBP, Great Britain pound. You can't pay in rupees. You have to give rupees to the local bank, then you take draft or TP payments or whatever. Then money has to go to England. The SEMA institution should be GBP. So obviously, you need foreign currency. You need foreign currency. When you have a relationship with other countries, you need foreign currency. So that's what happens. More demand. Right now, importation tremendous. Now you must have seen now if you see the figures compared to 2020, we have 30% increase of imports. 30% increase. 2021 order 30%. So even under import restrictions, so more demand. Reasons are basically now what is the largest import bill? We have oil. Oil price has gone up. Oil price has gone up. Now it's 72, 76 level. It was 76%. Now 76 rupees. One crude oil barrel was USD 76. Right. Now last year we saw that it was 42, like huge jump. So the value has gone up. So basically the amount you want to pay has gone up. And also the pharmaceutical items we bring to Sri Lanka has tremendously increased. Vaccine, other pharmaceutical items, everything increased. Now the Sinopharm vaccines not coming for free, yeah? Have to pay. Have to pay in dollars. But government is charging anything from the people who get vaccine. So the government has spent dollars. So we undertake to pay. The Bank of Ceylon is basically paying this particular amount for bring down this vaccination to Sri Lanka on behalf of the government. So it's a huge cost. And if you see this changes, that is also you have to pay. Everything the pharmaceutical cost has drastically, significantly increased during this pandemic. It's common, right? It's common now. PCR PCR equipment, PCR cut, PCR kit, PCR equipment. So this was not there, right? New thing, new import. That's like now and the essential goods. Now essential goods also importing very much significantly now these days, right? So we have seen a lot of people are importing essential goods. So even you put the restriction on non-essential goods, but it's not going to work. Now construction is happening, road development is happening, nothing has stopped. But only thing the vehicle and the gold, they have stopped it and some restrictions have been put to transfer money in terms of capital plan. Now remember, anybody who is having their PFC account balance, they can remit it. There is no restriction to remit money, right? Government has put restriction only for the capital transfer. Capital means what? If you go now, say for example, now you have a PFC balance here, you were working abroad and you send dollars to Sri Lanka and you have a PFC balance now. You're thinking you need to purchase the land in England. You have a restriction of 20,000. Purchasing a land is not a current transfer. Current means what? Day-to-day activity. For your living, for the hospital bill, that is current. But this is a capital goods only you are accepting, the purchasing. For that, you have a restriction of 20,000. Right? Share investments, capital investments. So you can't have it. You can, but only thing there is a restriction, 20,000. And also government have recently limited the migrant allowance, 30,000. So when you go abroad after selling all these things, properties in Sri Lanka, that is also 30,000 per year. It was 50,000 a year, now it's 30,000. So only thing, small restrictions have been put, but not banned. I think people have miscommunicated. The government has put restriction. Now people who are abroad try to take money their countries that Sri Lankan government will freeze. Nothing has happened. It won't happen. You can't do that. Nothing has happened. Still you can now student payments and still you are paying. People who are studying in students who are working studying in Russia, Belarus, banks are making payments. Some banks are not making payments, but state banks they are making payments. Students they need to pay. So there is no much restriction, but there are restrictions. But only thing there are some you can save money. Right? What I want to tell you is even of $20,000 is a big amount for the capital transaction. Yeah, above $20,000 only the problem. But PFC and other accounts, you don't have any restriction to send. For your living, your son's living, your brother's living, no issue. No restriction. You can send it. So why then people are fearing to send money to Sri Lanka? No need to fear. Only thing we have seen, you learn this, is you are a banker. Only thing, sending money to Sri Lanka, how much the bank pays now for the conversion? Stays 2/3. What is the price outside? We call it, I don't like to say that it's a black market, but it's a curb market, an informal market. Right? 250 like. So who sends money to banks to convert? So they're keeping their money without sending it. Actually, that has happened. Now, if you take July, month of July, the worker remittance, people who are working abroad, the worker remittances figure compared to 2020 July and 2021 July, 35% reduction. It's 35% reduction. So with the opening of the country, this Undial Hawala and informal channels are operating significantly. What happens is you go to a agent there abroad and you give you whatever the foreign currency to this guy. This guy does not send foreign currency to Sri Lanka. What happens is he gives you 250, which is the outside market, more than the bank's conversion rate, and rupee value will be delivered to your your place, home place, or they can deposit as third party deposit. That's what actually happened. These days, that's what actually happened. But remember, if you have anybody in abroad, if you have anybody abroad, tell that that is not the right thing. So sometimes your money might be loose, money might be lost. So basically, this is not an authenticated method. So your money can be used for some other purpose. Now you don't send foreign currency to Sri Lanka. You are giving foreign currency to somebody else person who is in person who is in overseas. So we don't know what is the purpose he's using this foreign currency. So we like as a country, we need foreign currency come to Sri Lanka. Please, anyway, it's available. You can print rupees. That's what we are doing. Rupee can be printed, but dollar cannot be printed. So we need what? Dollars to what? We just discussed to make the importation, make the payment for the importation, make the payment for essential good import, make the payment for pharmaceutical import. It's important. Now, only the hope we have at the moment is people who are working abroad, Sri Lankan workers, migrant workers, not the migrant, but the expatriates, people who have gone abroad to send money to Sri Lanka, and also people who have migrated other countries also have opportunity to send money to Sri Lanka. You know, SD account, special deposit account. It carries 1 year 7% interest for dollars, very attractive interest rate, and still government has extended till 2022 April. Send money to Sri Lanka through SDA. Only thing, if you send already sent amount, you can't convert, you can't transfer to SDA. Before they send, they'll have to open SDA account, savings account, and once you receive this to Sri Lanka, you can't transfer from PFC to SDA. Then it has to be a IIA to IIA account, but IIA account cannot be opened for all the Sri Lankans, right? So it has to be non-resident. So it's very cumbersome. So tell them before you send money to Sri Lanka, open this SDA account. All the banks have this available on the website. Then send money to SDA savings. Then you later open SDA account which carries 7% for 1 year. Right? So the only thing the government is paying 2% for the banks. So the actual cost for the banks are 5%. Balance 2% paid by the government, that is for 1 year, and 1% is paid by the government for 6 months. You can open in 6 months or 1 year. So all these things government is promoting what? To get money to Sri Lanka. So what are the methods we are getting foreign currency? One thing is exports, tourism, FDI, and worker remittances. Those are the major. And if you are not sufficient enough this, then you will be borrowing from abroad for your payment. So that is also happening. Borrowing also not happened last 1.5 years time due to this pandemic, but not the issuance of debenture, issuance of bonds, but other bilateral loans. Yes, it's happened. Bilateral loans happen. We have seen some bilateral relationships going on. We have received Bangladesh, IMF, and China also. Right? So those are things. So once you receive this money, you have more supply. So when you have more supply, exchange rate should be appreciated. So the rupee should be appreciated. When you have more dollars, obviously you expect the rupee to appreciate. Right now see appreciation. The depreciation is basically determined by how demand and supply. There's another word learned. This word devaluation. Depreciation and devaluation, two things, right? Now, depreciation is basically happens based on the demand and supply. When you have more demand, you pay more rupees, then exchange rate to go up. Devaluation is what? You take a decision. Okay, from today onwards, we devalue our rupee. Today is 230. Government takes a decision. Other India make a decision. Who takes decision? Government to say. Was the decision based on demand and supply? No. Government takes a decision. And there was a decision like this, I can't exactly remember the year at the budget. And the government took a decision to devalue rupee by 3%. Devalue. When you devalue a currency, when you have a depreciated your currency, what will happen? Dollar එකට ගෙවන රුපියල් ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි වුණාම what will happen? Who will be the beneficiaries? Who will be the victims? Who are suffering? Who are the people suffering from depreciation of exchange rate? Any country. This is common to any country, right? So now we, like Sri Lanka, are imported oriented country. We import everything. We import everything. Now what is our major export? Now in recent past, it's tea. And recently actually it has overtaken by rubber, not the garment. But tea, rubber, those are the two indigenous. Recently we have received much export income out of these two. Garments is another one. Now garments, we get export income, but 80% of the garments is basically import based. Right? So can you imagine that what do we produce? What are we producing inside the country? For a garment, if you take a trouser, if you take a frock or whatever, what do you produce inside Sri Lanka? Only the labor. I don't think others. Everything we have improved. The value addition very much low. Very much low. Right? So basically when you have rupee depreciation, so when the rupee is depreciated compared to other currency, we take dollar. So the one currency is depreciated means other currency is appreciated. Anything you pay more means your currency is depreciated. Your country is at bad economic profile. So anybody likes the interest rate to, I'm sorry, the exchange rate to have stabilized, not going up too much, not coming down too much. Why? If you have depreciated, like presently we are having depreciated exchange rate, who will be the victims? People who are imported. They had to pay more, right? Today 100 and we say today 200. Next day now it comes to now 1 month ago it was 200. 200 only you have to pay to acquire $1. Now you have to pay to acquire $1 from bank 230. 30 rupees as an example, right? 30 rupees has increased. Then you have to pay more. You have to give more rupees to the bank to acquire $1. So what will happen? So the price of imported goods also should increase. Price of goods increasing means what? Tell me the technical word. Inflation. That's what we are happening. That's what we are experiencing now. You see the inflation figures compared to July, August increased. CCPI and NCPI both increased. So the inflationary effect is there when you have depreciated or the exchange rate depreciation. So basically importers are suffering. Now see the exporters, they are benefiting. Like the exporter, you get dollars, we say $1. 1 month ago, if I'm an exporter, I got $1. 230 only I am getting if I convert into rupees. Now I am getting 200 only I am getting 1 month ago. Now I am getting how much? 230, 30 rupees more. So who will be benefited? Exporters are benefited by exchange rate depreciation. But we need to have what? not the depreciated, not the appreciated very much, not very much appreciated exchange rate. Then who will be suffering? Exporters will be suffering. Not the worst depreciated foreign currency. Then who will be suffering? Importers. Then we should have what? Stabilized. So that's the word we should use. Stabilized exchange rate. So when you have a stabilized exchange rate, then the country's economy is viable. There may be ups and downs, that's true. There may be ups and downs. Every time if you're going for a one day, one way disaster, right? So we have not seen any appreciation so far in rupees. Now, I must tell you in 2018, so 2019 we had a rupee appreciation. 2019, you remember that the incident we had to face, Easter Sunday attack, even rupee, when you compare January to December, rupee has appreciated. You go and check your amount, your bank account. Started at 180, 82, but ended up with 181 if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, rupee has appreciated. But 2020, slight depreciation, 2.3 right now. Here, that's the drastic depreciation. So, so the situation has worsened. So basically, what happens is we have a stabilized exchange rate. Why both the people are suffering? So true that we are more import-oriented country, but still we have to protect exporters as well. Now you know what happens is now presently now we have come to a very good point. Now this problem has acute. This problem has worsened. Exporters are not converting their proceeds into rupees. Why? Yes, now we know. මාසයට කලින් කරන්න මට හම්බෙන්නේ 200යි. දැන් කරන්න මට හම්බෙනවා 230ක්. I'm thinking that still exchange rate will further depreciate. So I'm waiting exchange rate until exchange rate will move to 250. So I'm not converting. Same thing happens. So the government is expecting exporters to convert their dollars. You know, there is a unconverted amount, $2 billion, thinking that exchange rate will further depreciate. We have more money. Now, you know, central bank has put a direction. Export proceeds, 25% the amount you are receiving as export should be converted into rupees within a month. So there is a restriction, but the banks have requested this percentage has to be increased to at least 40%. It has not materialized yet, right? So then you are asked to convert more, then you have more dollars. Now dollar it's not going to use. You can't use it. You can't give dollars if you have dollars in your account. Then you need to convert into dollars, convert into rupees. Then only banks get dollars. Then they can use their dollars to import. When you now say I have export proceed in my account, PFC account or BFC account, if I want to convert, exporter gets what? Rupees. So the bank gets. True that is available in the bank somewhere. That's true. You can use this money for other purposes, then to settle bills and everything. But you can't use this money for the importation of goods. Why? The importer is giving what to the bank? Rupees only. Now say you are importing dal from India. You have rupees with you. You need dollars. You are giving rupees to the bank, but bank cannot give whatever the exporter's account money. You can't give. Then exporter has to convert it into rupees. Then only bank has. Then you can give it to the importer. That's the mechanism. So anybody who thinks that okay, export proceeds have come to the bank, then why can't these export proceeds use? You can use it If the dollar payments, if you have a dollar payment to make from out of the dollars, then you can use it. But if somebody gives rupees and he needs dollars, then you can't do that. So that's the fact. That's the fact. So then obviously you need to convert into rupees. Then only banks get rupees. Bank gets dollars. Then these dollars can be used for the importation of whatever the essential goods. So whatever. Right? So that's why government is encouraged. Government is asking. Now 25% compulsory conversion is also based on that only. So they were not converting. Why? They are getting a huge amount on the interest, a huge amount on the balance, a huge amount of interest for their balance lying in the accounts. 7% only हमें SDA to that 7% on exporters are asking 7% rate cap नहीं their BFC balances. 7% for dollars is very good without converting. For rupees, how much you are getting? So they are better off not converting. So they want to convert. Now India, 100% has to be converted into Indian rupees. Exporters can't keep their export proceeds in dollars now. You can't export. 100% has to be converted. But here in Sri Lanka, recently only we have introduced 25% only. 25% only. So you have to do something. The government is taking decision. I think its cabinet has approved it. That's what the news we go. But due to the exporters protest, it has not still coming with the 40%, 25 increase to 40. Now all these things why we are learning, why we are teaching, why we are talking, we have a shortage of dollars in the market, right, at the moment. Why? Due to this pandemic. So once we start this tourism, we'll be all right. So after this vaccination, now 75% has been vaccinated, about 30 years. So I think that's a very good move. And with the opening of after this lockdown, I think we'll be all right. Now, basically, if we are free from COVID, it won't happen. Other countries also has to be the same. If people come to Sri Lanka again, then we will have the same pandemic. So the one day the world free of this COVID-19 only, we can have the same thing, normal business. Until that, we have only restricted. Now, what I want to tell you now, important message is we whatever the dollar liquidity shortage we are presently facing is basically due to this pandemic. And also, one thing is now we didn't have this kind of problem earlier. When you have now banks are asked to play 200, you can convert dollars in 200 and you can sell dollars 203. So there was no outside market like that. But the government has, the central bank has not intervened too much. For that is their duty, one of their duties, to intervene in the market to have a stabilized exchange rate. And they are not much intervening in the market these days, right? So important fact. Now what happens is now understand when you pay more depreciation, the economy is weak. The economy is weak. So we'll be learning later how this cross currency happening. Cross currency is happening, and devaluations, in other words, you purposely do it. You purposely do it, right? You purposely do it. So only thing you remember in the exam, cross currency we will be learning later, and the methods and the modes of receiving foreign currency to the country. And it has dried up now. Only the hope is at the moment we have what? Remittances, worker remittances. So that is not enough. Now we have gross reserve ratio, gross reserve 2.8 billion, which is sufficient for 1.5 months. If you don't have any dollar inflows, we can survive only 1.5 months with this. So it is not a use. Now we have Bangladesh, we have 73 billion, and India we have 610 billion reserve. So right, sorry, Bangladesh 45, Pakistan 73. We have only 2.8. So you can imagine where we are now. If you see the ISD, international sovereign bonds, I'll show it to you. We have the highest yield. Remember that we learned the relationship between yield and the price. When you have high yield, price is reduced. So why this? The investors try to sell at whatever the price available. Whatever the price available. Are they making a yield? They are selling at a discount. Remember the yield has gone up. Only Sri Lanka has a double-digit yield. So we have ISD, we have 13 million outstanding, we have 13 number of 13 වගේ තියෙනවා. ඒ හැම එකම we have double yield, double digit yield. Anik countries වල issue කරපු ඒවා තියෙන only 6%, 5% like that. Now I have seen yesterday there was a bond issued by Bahrain. Maturing is 2051. They just 50 This particular bond is trading at 5.72%. Our 2000, we have 29 bond. That bond is trading at 14%. Can you imagine where we are? So when you have more yield, price is coming down. Think from the seller side. Price has come down. You have purchased this particular bond at 100, example. Yield has gone up. So price has come down below 100. Think from the seller side. Here he is selling at 80. Making profit or loss? Loss. I don't mind selling at even at 80. But I think there will be a default risk. That's all. So due to the default risk perception, so they think that okay, government will default. Government will not pay on time. So then mama making in a sentiment they have. So still the yield has two digits. So I'll show it to the different countries, different yields. So that's that. So still so why people have fear? Government will default. They have fear of government defaulting by the government. They say they will government will default. Now government, Sri Lanka has never defaulted anything, right? The only thing they have a backup plan. What is their backup plan? They ask me. Backup plan is what? Somebody is there to save you. Somebody is there to protect you. Somebody is there to back you. Who is this somebody? It's IMF. It's IMF, International Monetary Fund. But government of Sri Lanka has not decided to go with IMF. So as long as we get IMF support, so you don't want to give support, but only thing if the foreign investors think that okay, IMF is behind Sri Lanka, then this whole picture will change. But I don't know, our government has taken decision not to go with IMF until we have a significant improvement of reserves. Very difficult to survive, very difficult to continue this without, so even if we are not going, since we are not going with IMF. So otherwise, if you take IMF support, that's fine. So you are giving a positive signal to the investors abroad. And if you don't go with IMF, then of course you will have the more reserves. So if you have more reserves, then international investors know, okay, no, they don't want to go behind IMF. They have sufficient reserves to pay whatever. So if you have 2.8 billion reserves, now next year payment is 5 billion. The entire dollar payment is 5 billion, whereas we have at the moment 2.8. So we're expecting some inflows, like for IMF, Bangladesh, then underutilization asset we want to sell 400, so we expect it, right? We have received 787 million IMF SDR, and Bangladesh of 200 we have received now another 50 to come, right? All these things. So, so then I will be taking next week, then cross-currency transaction, and I just wanted to give you a background of foreign currency. Anything you bring to the ask questions, uh, without asking questions, very difficult for you to learn. So I'm requesting you to ask questions. So I request you, as I told you, can you just text me? I have given my mobile number at the start of the class. Please text me. I just want to have a feedback from you all. So we have undertaken a class on Thursday. Last Thursday we have done a class. Is it worthwhile for you to do like that? So because I need to use some techniques like that. So then I will be, if you are saying if it is okay and your visibility and everything. So I think it nobody was there at that time online for the last Thursday class. Give me a feedback to my mobile. Then I can see I can continue. So then I can decide whether we will be continuing with that or discontinuing. So then if you are saying okay, sometimes based on your response, I'll be taking another class with you Thursday evening. Thursday evening, I'll be discussing with some past paper plus continuation of this foreign exchange, the cross rate. How do you arrive at cross rate? Then we can straight away move into the past paper cash rate, right? So please bring some questions. Any questions? I have given my mobile number also. If you don't ask here, also ask questions. Anything about it, economy, anything, right? Get it clarified, right? Anything you have any questions before we wind up? Since you don't have any question, please send me the feedback so then I can decide whether we'll be continuing on similar classes like we had last Thursday, right? Thank you. Thank you very much.